Hi, everyone. Welcome to Facebook Live, all about life. We've been discussing my Paragon model, the winning mental pyramid or forward performance pyramid, and it shows the relationship between motivation, inspiration, attitude, mindset, mood, and subconscious. And when all of those are aligned, you have consciousness. And last week I talked about your intrinsic relationship between your motivation and inspiration. And a great question to ask was, what is your focus best vision? And why is that? Why am I asking that? It's because your intrinsic relationship between your motivation and inspiration covers what we're talking about today. It controls your attitude. And you'll see a lot of people who will see someone succeed or is very successful, or someone that's not doing as well or not doing good. And you'll hear them say, regardless of the situation, they could be laying in a hospital bed. I've heard it from all types of people. Or they could be at work, or they could be at home, or on the athletic field. They just put everything into one thing, and they'll just say it's attitude. All about attitude. Now, having a positive attitude is definitely highly recommended. In fact, there was a Hall of Fame speaker by the name of Keith Harrell who went around all throughout the world, all types of organizations, businesses, groups. He talked about the difference between a positive attitude and why you should have one, and a negative attitude. And obviously, if you weren't fortunate enough to hear Keith Harrell, which I can see a lot of people have not been fortunate enough, have a positive attitude. Now, the thing with having a positive attitude is you just don't say, well, I have a positive attitude, everything's going to be great. No, you have to have tools, you have to have concepts, you have to have skills that will control your attitude to make it positive, right? And so that's why you need your intrinsic relationship between your motivation and inspiration, because that's what controls your attitude. And so a question to ask yourself is, what is your focus best vision? Simple as that. That's just one way to do it. One way to do it. Only one way. There's several ways to do it, but that's the very best way. Because when you do that, then automatically you will be put into a positive attitude, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not, you'll automatically be put into a positive attitude. And so that's the point. So just like Keith Harrell would go around teaching and speaking all types of places about positive attitude, well, we know that that's essential. And so why are you focusing on dumping, though, everything on attitude? How about teaching the best attitude? Do you teach your family members, your friends, your employers, your employees, your teammates, your team, your coaches, your athletes, whatever it may be, whomever it may be, do you teach the best attitude? That's what you need to teach. You need to teach the best attitude. So if someone's not having the attitude that is to your liking, one is maybe they've done something very commendable and you didn't recognize it, you didn't pay them a compliment, you didn't give them a raise, a bonus, an award. They just sort of went by as if it was just expected, or I don't know, maybe you just didn't think about it. I don't know. Well, more than likely that person will remember that. Now, I understand sometimes you do have some people in your organizations, on your teams, that you have high standards for, or you just somewhat expect that from them. However, I'm talking about when they do something that's just a little better or a little more than so that they did something that they hadn't done before, or something new, or they're learning something new, whatever it may be. So they want that recognition, they want that promotion, they want that compliment. And that's just very simple to do, or that bonus, or something, just something that recognizes it. Now, of course, if they don't have the attitude that's to your liking, that's their way of reaching out and asking for help. It might not look like that for you, because obviously we have a lot of people who say, destroy a negative attitude. Well, that's not really what they're looking for. They're already destroyed because they have a negative attitude. So what are you going to do? Destroy them more? No. What you do is you teach them the best attitude. And so that was a tool that I just mentioned, how to do that. Is you ask them to ask themselves, what's your focus best vision? Have them write it. Have them say it. Have them say it out loud. Think it. Whatever it may be. Create a visual of it. Just something. And then as you start doing that towards what it is that you want to accomplish, like this, right? Each time, each event, you ask yourself this question, well, over time, what's your focus best vision is going to change? Because circumstances changes, situations changes. I mean, what you thought of what you're doing today, well, initially it was your focus best attitude, but now it's something different because you've gone past this stage, and now you're over here. Well, your focus best vision is not to do something you've already done. That's a waste of time, right? You want to either do it better or you want to make a breakthrough. I mean, that's fun. That's where the fun comes, when you're going towards a breakthrough. It's not going towards solving some problem. That's not where the fun comes. It goes towards the breakthrough. So even when you're solving a problem, because they say pain, avoid pain, or people will do anything to do that and to solve a problem. I get that part. But really, you're not really focused on the problem. What you're focused on is you're focused on one step ahead of the problem. At least you should be focused on a breakthrough. I just was talking to someone today about a situation like this, and they were having some challenges, and I won't talk about their personal situation, but they were having some challenges. And everybody was like talking about the problem and what to do about the problem. And sure, there's value in that. There is definitely value in that. However, no one was talking about the breakthrough. What's the breakthrough that we can create from? Because that's what's going to attract you. Because if you just solve the problem, you're just basically without the problem, and you're back to where you've been the whole time before you had the problem. So I can give you an example. Let's say your dishwasher stopped working. Well, you like your dishwasher to work, obviously, because it washes your dishes for you. So you're just right back after solving the problem of having your dishwasher work. But if you focused on a breakthrough, then maybe the breakthrough could be something different. Maybe your dishwasher wasn't broken, but you found, I don't know, there's a new product, innovation that came out into the marketplace that makes your dishes cleaner, or you learned of a new way to put your dishes in. I'm just giving you a very simple example. And therefore your dishes are coming out without streaks, whatever it may be. See, now that's a breakthrough. Sure, it's not a major breakthrough, but it's a breakthrough, and that's exciting, that's fun. And that's what I see with a lot of my clients. Regardless of who they are, they don't focus on breakthroughs. They're coming and they want to solve a problem. And yes, I address the problem, there's no doubt. But that problem is just going to get them back to where they were before. What about going forward? Those are the breakthroughs. So teach them the best attitude. And that is really one way to teach them the best attitudes. What's the breakthrough do you want? Ask them that question. What breakthrough do you want? Or what breakthroughs do you want from this? And as you do that, what you'll see is that you're building actually their life skills. So you're imparting the tools, the wisdom, the concepts, the learning, the knowledge, the skills, the experience. That's what I'm doing as a coach a lot of times. And you know what? That's something that they have put into their repertoire. And as long as they apply the learning, it's going to become less and less of an issue, right? And eventually it'll just go away, period. And that's exactly what I want to happen. That's exactly what they want to happen. But of course, we want to go towards something more positive than that. What's that positive common goal that we're going towards? And so what is that breakthrough that we're both working on, or we both want, or that you need? Because as a client, I mean, as a coach, in anything that I do, when I deliver for my clients, well, I want it almost as much as they do, because we're in it together. So we're a team. It's like teammates. So do you teach the best attitude in all about life? This is with your family. Or do you just say, well, he or she's not doing good in school, or he or she's not doing it good at work, or, you know, when I come home, I open the door and well, I walk in and they have attitude. And of course, they're talking about a negative attitude. Well, you can stop that. You really can stop that by teaching the best attitude. And you know, sometimes someone will try to institute something on you, like come up with a rule to say something like, hey, yeah, don't go into that room. Now I'm using that room for something else. Now, what are they going to do? Every room is going to be used for something else? Then what room are you going to go in? It becomes ridiculous after a while. Now, if they have a legitimate reason, which of course, you know, a lot of times they'll tell us that reason, then we have to obviously look at the situation and say, okay, that makes sense. Okay, I understand that. But don't let people start instituting things, and then if you don't do them, they say that you have a bad attitude or a negative attitude. That's not the way to actually get someone towards breakthroughs, by limiting their environment, by limiting their surroundings. That's not a way to put them in that zone. So what you want to do instead is you want to just literally ask them, what are the breakthroughs you're working on? What are the breakthroughs you want help with? Right? Go towards the breakthroughs. And then you'll see that all of a sudden they'll have a positive attitude, because all they're trying to do really, and this is why we're here, this is why we're people, right? Things get done through people, or things get done through relationships. And there's always people involved. And therefore, you want to find that common positive goal. You want to find that breakthrough that you're working on. Okay, it's okay to identify a problem, because yes, they definitely want that solved, but you got to give them something that takes them a little further, and that's really what a positive attitude is, and that's really teach the best attitude. So I gave you 2 tips for you to apply the learning. Ask them, what's your focus best vision? What's your focus best vision, because that's going to control their attitude and put them in a positive attitude. And then as they keep going, they'll keep asking that question. And as they keep asking that question, they'll evolve or change or innovate, or they'll use different words, have more clarity, right? We're always seeking clarity to some extent. And then also the other way is to just ask them, what are the breakthroughs you want help with? What are the breakthroughs you need help with? What are the breakthroughs you're working on? Right? That's where you automatically put them in a positive attitude. But whatever you do, when you see somebody that doesn't have a positive attitude, I know we have certain criteria and certain standards, and I think maybe even a code of conduct type. I understand that. But you got to understand to a certain extent that this is their way of reaching out for help, and they don't know how to ask for help, or their way of reaching for support, and they don't know how to ask for support. And so this is really a teaching moment to teach them the best attitude. And you've got to have the skills, you've got to have the patience, you've got to have the tools to do it. And quite simply, most people don't have those tools, those skills, because they think that that person's trying to drag them down. And because they think that, it's one of those things, because they think that, you just want to pound them more, punish them more. That'll get them out of their bad attitude. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't make sense. We know it doesn't make sense. All you're really doing is because you have the power or the authority at that particular situation, is that you're taking advantage of that. It's that simple. Instead of doing the work or being educative or training or making it fun and enjoyable for them, to get them to shift out of that, right? You want to be able to do that so that they have a clear goal in their mindset, so that they are working towards a positive breakthrough or towards a breakthroughs. So that's what I have for you today. And so in your relationships, right, because we're always transforming energy from one another. And of course, we need to create our own energy or have our own energy and just transform it within ourselves, not really let the other person be able to affect our energy whatsoever. Now, of course, as that happens, though, then together you'd be able to have both of you in that flow. And when both of you are in that flow, then what's going to happen? It's going to be fun going towards your positive common goal or towards breakthroughs. So all it takes is, yes, it takes patience. I know it does. It really does. But realize that this person right now, what seems so clear and easy to you, their mind is most likely either going a zillion miles per hour, or it's going so slow that they just aren't able to process it. The connections, the connectivity, whatever it may be, it's not happening. And so these are all avenues for you to reach out to them as a person and really deliver what your services and products say. Because that's when they're going to see the most value from you, right? It's not just because you took them from one state that they are used to being in, and then they had a problem and they saw you and you got them back to that state. I mean, there is value in that, but you took them forward towards a positive common goal and towards breakthroughs. I hope something resonated with you today, mostly being stop dumping everything on attitude. I mean, positive attitude is important, but it's not the reason that everybody succeeds greatly. That's the reason that they have all these professions, all these experts, etc. I mean, sure, that's essential to have. There's no doubt about it. But do you have the tools, the concepts, the learning? Try it. Use it. What I just talked about. And you see a huge difference. And it's your ability to communicate with patients and really understand what that person's feeling, thinking. Be able to do that, and you really be able to make your life and their life a lot more robust. And that's what it's really all about, because that's just the way we were made, created, whatever word you want to use. That's what being a human being is, or a spiritual being, or a humanitarian. You don't have to be a humanitarian when all heck break loose. Sure, we definitely are then, but it'd be a lot better to prevent that from happening to begin with, wouldn't it? Of course it would. You can do your small little part just by being this way, because you would be shocked at how much of an effect you will have on people. So I hope you have a meaningful trigger for this evening. I know I do. I'm just tonight really relaxing. I think take my mom to the grocery store. She's been having some challenge with walking and things of that nature. So try to get her out there and see what we can experience, a breakthrough. That'll be fun. Get her in a different environment. If something resonated with you, you can contact me, 864-569-2315, or Raj at rajgavrula.com. I have a bunch of videos on my website, some other information. I'm always moving around to different places, helping people, whether they're any types of engagements, whether it's individual coaching, speaking, training, just all types of things, facilitation, retreats. So let me know. And again, I hope you have meaningful triggers set up for this evening. It should be exciting. It should be fun. And it should be a little bit of a breakthrough. I hope it's not something that's just rudimentary, something that you just do automatically that's not going to excite you, or it's not really fun for you. It's just something you do. You're just stuck in that pattern. So I don't want to talk about patterns today, but that's what I have today. Again, at 4 o'clock, I'll be talking about this as far as it goes pertaining to your sports performance and life.